I am Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where today we're breaking down Real Madrid and the debacle that is going to be Chelsea Football Club this season. Now, in the pre-season, I've covered a little bit in the last Chelsea video, and I'm kind of picking on Chelsea a little bit through this pre-season, only because their highlights are easier to find than everybody else's, quite honestly. But they're making so many little mistakes, and here's the problem in your pre-season. If you're making repeated mistakes, you're looking for patterns. Is the same pattern happening over and over again? That means you've got something fundamentally wrong with your team. So in the last video, I covered a lot of things fundamentally wrong with what they were doing, and the same mistakes were happening when they were playing the ball out of the back. They got caught on the exact same thing 4 times. 4 times. Now today you're going to see another thing. Now here's the slight difference. They're not playing the ball out of the back here. They're actually in transition. So are they making the same mistakes in transition? So what does that really mean? Is the midfield doing their job properly? So on that transition, can the midfield slow them down quick enough to get everybody back and do the right thing? Or are they just getting torn apart with the same pass and the same ball? Have a guess. They're getting torn apart with the same pass and the same ball. What a shock. So here we are. We're going to look at this, and we're going to look at runners off the back of the defenders. And it's a theme. So let's just move this forward ever so slightly. Bosh, there's a runner coming off the back of the defender. You go, oh, it's only going to happen the once. Here's the problem. You've got one player and you've got basically 2 trying to mark the one. Here, he shouldn't have been able to make that run and that pass with that easy pass there. And there's no one close anywhere in this space to make that pass difficult or maybe stop this run out wide. And it's just a simple in-to-out run, nothing special. He doesn't have to do anything except for keep himself onside, which honestly nowadays is quite refreshing when they're friendlies because they don't have that dodgy VAR rubbish to say they're off when they're on and when they're on they're off and all that crap. So he actually made a nice little run, curved in behind and received the ball. But let's just jump onto the next clip, because I bet you're going to guess what's going to happen next. Here we go. Can you spot it? It's going to be a run straight in behind. Here he goes. Dosh, dosh. Here comes the pass. And it's obviously not Real Madrid's first team or anywhere near it. I know it's probably not Chelsea's. It's going to be quite close to their first team. I can't see that many more changes they'll make. Maybe 2 or 3, but that's pretty close. But you can see how stagnant and flat the back 4 are. No one's really being able to react. Now, one guy is reacting, but he's a step too slow. So when this ball's gone, he's got no chance. Bosh, look, he's already gone in behind him. And I do believe he's not that fast of a player. It's just that his movement was better, and he got there because, well, the Chelsea players didn't read the situation. And that pass is allowed to happen because there's no pressure on the ball, so he's able to pick a pass through 2 defenders and get onto the end of it. But don't worry, it's not going to happen again. Oh, before I show you the bit that is going to happen again, this is the one that actually causes the goal. So they go in. Now, here's one thing that some things you don't really worry about. You do, but you put them to the back of your mind, if that makes sense, right? So when one of your players is getting beaten 1v1, or say like he's just not quite fast enough with pace, you're going, okay, well maybe he might not up to speed. He's not up to game speed, so we're not so worried. But when the repeated mistake is happening, or you've got a pattern of something happening, as I said, there's a fundamental flaw in your system of play and what's going on. And this is just becomes a bit of a disaster here for Chelsea because they just don't really know how to defend properly as a unit. So they end up, look at this. There's ended up 3 versus 2, and this goal is just pathetic, really. It's just a bobbling goal. Watch what happens. Bosh, off it goes, knocks over here, completely free. Remember, they've run from the halfway line. That means there's every one of those Chelsea players have had enough time to recover, and they haven't. That comes down to attitude again. That's so important because if everyone's playing for the coach and everyone's into what the system is and what they're doing, their attitude is good and positive and they're all back defending and doing the right thing. And if they're just kind of like, nah, this guy's going to be gone soon, no one's really caring. He's trying to change too much too soon, which I think he is. He's trying to change too much too soon. And then this little shot comes off, Bosh, and it goes into the back of the net box. Look, just dribbles in. I don't think this guy touches it, to be honest. He claims it, but then he doesn't touch it. And in it goes. Chelsea not defending well, but it comes from that little run. I'm sure they're not going to let it happen again. Oh, look, the Real Madrid players have identified it, and they're screaming for the ball in behind so they can run onto it because, well, look, there's no pressure in the midfield. And again, you've got another problem. Now, if you look here, the side where the ball's on, it's being played through here, you can see, look, watch this. 2 players absolutely doing absolutely nothing. Now, when you're playing a 4-3-3 and you've got your 3 midfielders, the key is this guy here needs to be tucked in and much, much closer right here, right? And he's nowhere near. And that enables you to get extra pressure out on the flanks and on the wings. And if you can't have that, and you can't have your 3 in midfield doing a proper job, then you're asking one of your actual, forwards or your wingers, because they're not wingers or forwards anymore, out there, out wide to come back and do their job. Well, you can't really ask them to do that because they're all looking at that midfield and going, you're supposed to tuck in. But none of them are tucking in. None of them are actually quite doing their job properly. And that means they just don't understand what they're going to, really supposed to do. Which genuinely, that's what it comes down to. But again, simple run, straight between the two defenders. Again, little simple ball, bump, off they go. How easy is that? It's not going to happen again, though. No, it can't. Let me play this clip a little bit further forward because, good old Cash fashion, I'm jumping the gun. I want to show you something else instead of the goal. But this ball in from behind, simple, gosh, no one's clear. Keeper's not reading it. If the keeper's actually out where he's supposed to be, he probably clears that ball. And he doesn't let them be able to play that pass because there is no space. Remember, space is dangerous. And they've allowed that dangerous space to be there. Comes across and he just slots it into the net box. Yeah. Simple. Good job there wasn't someone like a Kylian Mbappe up front, otherwise it might have been a lot worse for him. I'm going to cover the Chelsea goal right here because this little number 11 here, this kiddie, he's actually quite quality. He's the one that put the ball in, I think, for Sterling the other day, but his movement's quite good. Just before there, he does like a little, what I call a little check run. So he comes back, checks, and goes pretty well. And the reason he's coming back is because that's the motion of the ball, which is perfect. So he's going in tandem with the ball. When the ball's going one way, he's going the way of the ball, so he can stay on side. And then the pass picked out. He's isolated at the back post. Courtois kind of niffed because he should have done better, really. This keeper at this quality should have done better with such a poor cross, but he doesn't. But this kid, he gets himself a goal. Bosch, off it comes. Flipped up, 1v1. But he's got the run on him. His actual body shape is decent. He's actually able to attack the ball properly, which, quite frankly, most of the Chelsea players don't understand that. Jumps up, Dom gets himself on the end of it, and into the net box it goes. It wouldn't be a Chelsea game without me showing you how bad this Modric kiddie is. I think it's Modric here, number 10. Intercepting the ball right here in midfield. I'm slowly losing my voice. That's what happens when you stop smoking. So on he runs, dosh, off he goes. Is anyone going to bother to tackle him? Nah, no one's even going to bother. No one cares. Because if we just move it forward to what he does with the final ball, and this is why he's rubbish at the football. Gets all the way to here. Brilliantly done. Just give it to this guy here. Let him finish it off. You've done the hard work. Get a goal. But no. What he does is what he normally does is go whoppa and smashes it 9 feet over the air into the... yeah. He's just not good enough. He's not good enough. I think Chelsea are going to have a rockier season than they think. Yeah. It's going to be a rough one, all right. I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.